Who's that sweet ass looking Robbie? That's Death Robbie. So, we're going to talk about top side deck predictions for this new format. What are going to be the best cards that you should probably be side decking? This is your long requested side deck update for the month of February, pre YCS Chicago. Let's dig on into this fantastic discussion, shall we? Alright, these are the top 5 side cards. Number 1 on my list is Amaz. Now, you've probably read this card, you've probably heard me talk about it for a couple of videos, and your initial reaction is probably like, I don't want to spend all the money on the card. I think it's worth it. You have a card that allows itself to be summoned through the means of, well, itself. It lets you draw cards for the number of link monsters that you have, +1. Then you shuffle back the amount they have. So it is self-replacing. You literally get to Saruja everything. And he's 2400 on a body. What the fuck is not to love about this card? Now, he also comes with built-in discard negation for when your opponent decides to target your shit. I don't know why your opponent's going to target your shit when you have a Amaz on the field. Maybe to burn through your resources. Now, the only big downside that I could see to this card seeing a little bit less play is less link decks potentially means, well, you know, no potential. But I mean, it says draw on it, alright? I think against Sky Striker, this card's not too damn bad. You know, you beam it on out when they link summon, cool. You get to draw 2, shuffle back 1. What more? And like, that's for going second, by the way. You get to fix your hand and get better solutions. I think because the card does inherently say draw, and there'll be a lot of people out there that will argue because cards that say draw that are inherent advantages that will better fix situations. Yeah, fucking Amaz is going to be a great card, and a lot of people are probably going to abuse it. I personally am looking forward to seeing some of these interactions that we're going to see with Amaz existing, but till that point happens, well, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, that's for sure. So there's that. Now, next up on my list is actually Stein, and the first thing I'm gonna hear in my comment section is, Roby, effect failure exists. Why would you play such a shit card? And the other thing I'm going to hear is, pay 5,000. That is time in the round. All right. I think that Stein is a fucking interesting card to have back. Exterio, last wear from another planet. Okay, so first off, pay 5,000 life points against Sky Striker. It's pretty much death because, you know, setting up a monster setting up any sort of card into the graveyard with Stein while doing whatever. I mean, against Sky Striker. So I was thinking about this. I wanted to be cheeky in the Sky Striker mirror. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, what if I want to be that guy? And by be that guy, I mean, what if I want to side a Cyberstagon? So I go first in the mirror, I pay 5k, you know, then go into Kaina, proceed to play the rest of my spells. I might be sitting at 34, 35. It's not 3,000, but I mean, dropping an Exterio in the mirror. I mean, what's your opponent? There was talk of people wanting to side in Kaijus in the mirror and to shut off their opponent's back row. I get it, it's cute. But I think for the cute factor, and the cute factor does get people places, a lot more than you might like to admit, but yeah, Stein is here. I think people are going to be citing it. I think they're going to be the cheeky people that are trying to play it in the main, you know, going first and things like that. You kind of got to pick your poison with kind of what position or mode that you go into with it. And you're also dedicating extra deck resources to that as well, which people might find that to be slightly less appealing in the long run, because more resources dedicated to something like Stein might not be their cup of tea. But I do think people are going to side Stein because it is cheeky, and cheeky will win games. Now, next up on this list, I've been talking about this forever, and it's actually Kaijus. I think we're going to see a mad resurgence of Kaijus. I might be fucking crazy for saying this, but when you see something like Slumber move off the list, then people are going to be bringing Kaijus back. Board wipes are good. Now, the format is faster than we had originally seen the first time that Slumber was seeing play. And that might not be a good thing, but Kaijus can still out-problem Thunder Dragon cards. That they can. You can also out spaceships, well, nobody plays those. Giving your opponent a Sky Striker, or giving your opponent a Kaiju in the Sky Striker matchup, oh, that's fucking good. That's cheeky. Giving your opponent a Kaiju and Altergeist, I mean, it's one less Yugioh that you have to deal with. Kaijuing over a Guru is pretty good. Kaiju in the Trickstar matchup, not so good. But, I mean, a good chunk of those, good options. But, like I said, we're going to see Kaiju packages fucking everywhere. It's nuts. I think since we've inherently moved Slumber off of a number that's more than 1, yeah, of course board wipes are going to see more play. You know, it's not Dark-Hole, it's not Regeki, but it's a Searcher and a Destroyer. Who knew when you put those two cards together that you're going to be fantastic? Plus, you know, higher level Kaijus. I guess they're just trying to get people to play the anti-Kaiju War Machine in their deck, anticipating more Kaijus. That's kind of baiting us really hard in the competitive scene, actually. If I get anti-Kaiju War Machined, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. It's going to be a sad day. I can see it happening. Like, we start seeing more Kaijus, we see more Kaiju War Machines in the side deck. It'll be an interesting time. That's for fucking sure. Now, next up on my list is Shared Ride. Now, we've seen Shared Ride for the longest time in these formats. And I do believe that Shared Ride is inherently good against Sky Striker. Check. Against Thunder Dragons, it's okay. I mean, you get it off there searching. Against Altergeist, it's pretty cute. I mean, depends on the searching they're doing. Against Guru, it's pretty good, unless they Fiendus it. But I mean, if you Fiendus my Shared Ride, then I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna continue on along with my day. Like, that's a-okay by me. Like, I would consider Shared Ride almost a baitable card. Now, it all just kind of depends on how much searching the deck does and things like that to warrant me to want to bring it in that matchup. But I do think in matchups where you want to get a dead card out, maybe draw 2, it's chainable, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you remember that, but chainable cards are good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't forget that. But searchability is going to be at a much higher rate than it has been in a while. I hate to say that, but yeah, it's just kind of one of those cards that we've had going for the longest time in Yu-Gi-Oh! That it's been here for the whole last format. You know, people were kind of moving it to the side, they were kind of moving it to the main, just kind of involved what was going on in your format locally. Like, I'm not maining it in Sky Strikers right now because I only have one Sky Striker player to deal with at my locals, and he hasn't been doing that hot lately. So until like I have to deal with more, like, I don't inherently see it being a main deck card. I think it's just more or less a side deck choice at that point in time, and I don't want to deal with it even more. So yes, Shared Ride, very good side deck choice. Main deck worthy, depends on the format, we'll say. Now, last on my list of side deck cards is actually evenly matched. Now, we have Guru control sitting at the table now with Altergeist, which means these set everything, commit everything back row matchups is going to be something. Now, that just means that you're going to have to start baiting Fienduses before you evenly, and that's going to be an issue. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to kind of set everything in that matchup, and you're going to have to try to push over the Guru. And the Guru can reset itself, which means they got you beat if you're trying to kill it by battle, because they're just going to flip down whatever the hell you have, and then you can't evenly them anyway. You got to be tricky about it. You got to get them to get even lead. Now, I do think that Evenly is a fantastic card. It does equalize a lot of these shitty matchups. That's what we want in this game. But Evenly is kind of losing power. And, I mean, there will be a lot of decks that will be maining Evenly. There's a lot of the Sky Striker variants that were maining Evenly, and they were duping you into they want to go second. They draw their 6th card. They Evenly they proceed to set up, you know, going into turn 3, turn 4 for them. We did it. You know, we got what we came here for. We're an abundance of resources. We capitalized on those resources. And that's why Evenly is great. It literally steals games. Games that you shouldn't win because of Evenly. I've been judgmented unevenly. I've seen Altergeist players have the Imperial Order. You just evenly them, and you're in such a good position. Like, a Sky Striker player can beat one Imperial Order if their opponent has nothing else. As long as they fundamentally have a monster and they start poking for things, it kind of gets crazy out there. But these are my top side deck choices for the beginning of February. The YCS will probably change a lot of these things. There'll be a lot more things to add, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Obviously, there is more than what we mentioned, but this is the start. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And well, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.